extracurricular activities open kids' minds to new interests. They help build skills outside of the classroom, they provide a productive break from study, and they open new social opportunities to grow a community. ActivityHero is a one-stop shop for parents to find activities for all their kids. From art and music to coding and science, chess and Lego, there's something for every interest and every age. Whether your kids are middle school after-school pros, high schoolers building their resumes, or little kids who are newbie campers, we're here to guide you through the many options of out-of-school activities. To get started, visit activityhero.com. Once you have signed up, you can start with an activity type that might work best for your kid. In person, to find nearby camps and classes, live online if you need to stay at home, or perhaps on demand for activities your kid can do independently at their own convenience. Browse, book, and manage activities on ActivityHero. In this episode, we will talk about First Time Campers 101, what to consider when thinking about introducing your child to their first camp experience. Our guest for today's interview is Courtney Cimoli. She's the Chief Operating Officer of Camp Edmo, the leading camp provider in the San Francisco Bay Area and Greater Sacramento regions of California, with a multitude of school year programs and 32 on-site summer camp locations. You can check out Camp Edmo's current summer camp offerings on activityhero.com. One of the reasons why we love Camp Edmo at ActivityHero is because they collaborate with leaders in fields of science, maker education, and social emotional learning to design a well-rounded and diverse curriculum for their programs. Now here's Nicole, our ActivityHero team member, and Courtney from Camp Edmo to talk about First Time Campers 101.
How do I know if my child is ready for summer camp?
Yeah, so first of all camps have kind of different guidelines around that, right? So for Edmo, they need to be potty trained and they need to be at least 4 years old by the start of camp. So any camp that you're looking at, make sure that you verify that first. What age do they start at, and what are the parameters that your child needs to be able to meet to be able to join? From there, though, I'd say once they're starting to really develop curiosity over different theme areas, if there's something that they're really excited about, or you can get them excited and engaged in going and joining a camp, that's a great time to get them started. You notice that they're loving dinosaurs, come join us for Dino Science this summer. Really try to match it off of something that you're really seeing them start to spark interest in. And in general, any enthusiasm for hands-on interactive activities, that's going to be a great time for them to start camp. It's really great when you can do those DIY things at home with them, but it's a whole nother level when they can get in there and experience it with other kids, other adults, the counselors, and really get involved in that way. And then the other thing that I would say is there's a little bit for every personality type. So you might think, my child is really outgoing. They're ready. They're going to go make friends. But it's great for the more reserved campers too, because it's a place to practice those skills. They're going to have to go to school. They're going to have to be outside of the home and around these. This is an environment for them to try it where they don't have to, they get to. And so for myself, I was that really shy kid, and camp was the best thing for me. I got to go out. I got to practice my social skill building. I got to be in new environments in a way that was really engaging and exciting. And so it's just really a great starting point for all kids, no matter what their personality type might be.
Awesome. So what types of camps are best for a first-time camper? Should I, pick something very general, more of an all sports or a all kind of general fun camp, or should I go for something more specialized?
So I'm going to say that depends on your kid. Are they really motivated by one particular thing and they really want to attend a specialized camp, or is it still kind of a general interest level for them? And they're both great. Both camps are going to have their awesome benefits. The one thing that I would pay attention to, though, regardless of if it's general interest or specialized, is what's the additional stuff to their curriculum. So even if it's a specialized camp, there should be other aspects to the camp day. You want them to be singing songs, performing skits, having outdoor game time, having some sort of SEL or social skill building session where they're learning traits like responsibility and initiative. So whether it's a general interest theme or a specialized theme, make sure you're getting a well-rounded package. That's what's going to really engage your child and let them get everything they can out of camp.
Do you ever, and this is kind of a different question, but to lead into that is, do you have a lot of campers that take the same, camp or same type of camp, multiple weeks, in a summer? Like, is it better to have kind of a longer time frame for first time campers, or is it okay to kind of mix up their subject matters?
Yes, great question. So I would recommend picking a camp and kind of like sticking with one or two. Floating them to a different camp every single week can sometimes make it a little hard for them to get established when they're really just kind of learning what camp is, because camp involves so much culture, right? You show up and you go here for your rally in the morning and you know where your boundaries are. And when they're relearning that every week, in addition to getting used to just the atmosphere of camp in general, that can be really overwhelming. I recommend a camp that offers a variety of themes so they can mix it up each week, but go to the same camp. At Edmo, you can attend the entire summer and do a different theme every single week. So you're doing this overarching concept of maker or science or tech or whatever the theme is, but you're mixing it up with a different category, subject area, theme area every week. And that way they stay really engaged. They're always doing something different, but the general outline of camp, the general structure of their day, that becomes familiar to them, and that can really help them get settled in. And we'll see them, these kids who come for a full 6, 8, 10 weeks, by the end of the summer, like that's their home. They know where they are when they get there on Monday morning, and they're helping the new campers get involved.
That's awesome. So should I register for camp with siblings or friends, or do you find that to be more or less, distracting, or does it kind of help them settle in?
It's a little bit of both, to be honest. So for siblings, unless they're really close in age, and depending on how the camp does grouping, they are likely going to be separated anyway. So make it easy on yourself. Do one drop off and one pickup, especially if the camp has a variety of offerings like Edmo does, where, your kids could have very different interests and still find something engaging there. To come with friends, that can be really great. It can help them feel comfortable from the minute they get there, someone that they're looking for, especially if your child is one of the ones who's a little bit more shy, a little bit more reserved, and kind of just needs that extra comfort. That's great. I think it's great when they come with friends. However, they don't need to. Make sure that the camp that you're signing up for is ready with techniques to help them get engaged, make new friends. I can tell you at Edmo, you come in, the first thing we do Monday morning is you meet your group and we do something called Team Love. So they're meeting each other. They're going over names in a fun, interactive way. They're doing icebreakers. They're creating a team name. Like, they're really getting ingrained as a group. So it doesn't matter if they didn't have a friend when they walked in. They now have an entire group of friends within 15 minutes of being there. And then from there, throughout the day, we have all types of techniques, particularly on Monday, though throughout the week as well, where our SEL curriculum, they spend an hour in our team time rotation every day. And the counselors are trained to do different things that help them make new friends, interact with others, just multiple aspects throughout the day that really help them get to know. So don't be worried if you are sending your new camper without anyone they know. The counselors will help them immediately.
That's great. And you kind of, answered a lot of the how you help first-time campers adjust in those techniques. Is there anything else that you want to add to, how those counselors kind of bridge that gap for both, maybe it's kids or their parents?
Yeah. So there's, like I said, we have Team Love, SEL curriculum that's going to help them make connections throughout the day. However, the other way that really helps, and the parents, is distracting them the moment they get there. So when the parent comes in, it's natural that the camper is going to want to stay with the parent. That's who they know, that's what they're used to. And so a really good counselor is going to help distract them away from those nerves. And that's going to mean that the second you walk onto campus, there's some sort of activity going on, whether it be, you know, some free play, some organized games, a rally section that they're going straight to. They're being brought into the camp immediately. And even though they don't necessarily have a friend their age yet, they have a staff member. The staff member is friendly and exciting to be with and excited to see them. And that's going to help both the camper and the parent make that transition into the first day or any day after.
Awesome. So what do you believe is the biggest challenge for first-time campers?
Drop off. AM drop off. We see it time and time again. Again, probably the biggest challenge for the parents too, especially if they haven't dropped their kid at an all-day program before. I can tell you as a parent myself, I've got a 9-month-old. I'm not looking forward to the time that I leave her away from me for a full day for the first time. So I think it's as hard on the camper as the parent, maybe harder on the parent. But what I would recommend is drop them off and leave. And it's so hard. I know it's hard, but the reality is that when the parents stay, it just allows the child to build up more and more nerves, more and more anxiety, get more and more upset. And when we see a quick drop off or a quick transition, because we have those other techniques to help them quickly build friends, get to know their staff member, get distracted by activities that are already going on, 5 minutes and the camper is engaged, has forgotten they were upset, and they're now a part of the camp day and excited and raring to go.
Thinking about camp, what benefits do you believe summer camps offer children above, you know, just kind of free play at home through the summer?
So many. I'll start to focus on one, but I feel like that's a really big question. The thing that I love about summer camp specifically as a extracurricular kind of activity, not just outside of your house, but out of, you know, if you were just going to do daycare or childcare and why you should do camp instead, camp does not expect your child to fit the mold in any way. Camp is for everybody, and there's a little bit of something for everybody, and there's a lot of discovery about yourself in that. Again, like that's why I've devoted my life and my career to summer camp, is because that's what summer camp did for me many years ago. Very shy, afraid of my shadow style child who was able to really find themselves and get comfortable at camp. So the benefit of taking them to this environment that is so inclusive and inviting is huge. Quick answer to the rest of that, I mean, social interaction, trained professionals who know the various theme areas that they're there to learn, who know how to help them develop those SEL skills like responsibility and initiative. Can they do that at home? Yes. Is it the same as learning it from someone other than a parent surrounded by their peers? No, that's a very different experience. And I think both are important, but summer camp can really have so many levels of value.
Awesome. So when you are a new parent to, you know, signing your kid up from summer camp, it can seem a little overwhelming at first. You know, there's so many different options, whether it's, you know, different, you know, brands and different companies and different programs. And then also, you know, below that, you know, what type of curriculums. And, you know, it can get really overwhelming for a first time, you know, parent who's trying to, you know, figure out what their kid is going to enjoy for camp, and what the best options are out there and really what they're paying for, you know. So what, if you're, you know, talking to a parent, what do you feel like are the most important questions for a parent to ask when they're researching camps?
So this is going to take me back to what I said earlier about making sure that the camp is well-rounded throughout the day, whether it's a specialty or a general theme. With Edmo, you come in, you start every day with a rally, songs, skits. That might be a little bit different for summer 2021. There's a lot of safety measures that go along with that and what we're experiencing in our world right now, but there's still going to be that level of interaction. Then you spend a couple hours of the day doing your theme, but you're also spending other parts of the day doing outdoor recreation, game time that's led by counselors, various games that include collaboration and teamwork. We've got our entire team time curriculum built out. So when you sign up for Edmo, you're not just getting dinos, you're getting a whole package. So look for that. Don't just get so excited about one theme that you don't see what the full schedule of the camp day is. Another thing is, obviously with COVID-19, camps are all doing things a little bit different. That's what I would really be watching for this year. Are they truly staying in a stable group? I'm not going to lie, it's something that's very difficult in our industry to ensure, especially when we're going in and out of different periods of the day. At Edmo, we've been working tirelessly to make sure that our COVID-19 protocols are across the board being followed, keeping our campers and our staff safe, and that we really are truly staying in these stable groups from start to finish of the day. Very particular to this year, but very crucial right now. And then I would pay attention to the staff that they're hiring, but I wouldn't get overly focused on qualifications. So just because a staff member is a college graduate in a specific field, it doesn't mean that they're vibey. You want fun, interactive staff. I've seen 16-year-old counselors who have attended camp for years be the strongest counselor out of a staff of people much older and more experienced than them. So it's really about that culture that the camp's creating, more so than the actual on the paper resume qualifications necessarily. See what they're looking for in their people.
Yeah, absolutely.
When signing up for camp, get your camper involved. So let them pick their themes. Let them get on the website with you and look at the sample project photos, read the descriptions out loud to them, because one, you're going to know that you're spending your money somewhere that your child is really interested in. And two, it's going to help so much when they're trying this new thing if they're already so excited about it and they chose it and they know what they're going into. So I would definitely recommend having them be involved in the process as you're choosing the program for them. Anyone who needs support, whether you need $10 or hundreds of dollars, we're there for you. It's not just full scholarships. I think a lot of people think of it as like 100% or a huge percentage. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes people just need a little help or a little bit off the top. So our sliding scale program does that. We just revamped it this year, so now it's immediate, and you can sign up for any programming with it.
To find the right summer camp for your child, visit us at ActivityHero.com.